Two. And we are live.
Okay, so once again, last week we covered setting up a domain name, getting a domain name, getting hosting, installing WordPress on it, basically building up a home base. And there's several reasons why you want to build up a home base. One of the reasons is for authority. So that way, when you try to request review access from people, you can say, hey, look, this is my website, and you can show that you're a real person. The other one is so that you can have somewhere to send traffic to in order to build up your list and build up reputation as well for yourself with the customers. So the one thing that a lot of people asked me, they were emailing me, and they asked me was, where are they going to get the content from? Where are they going to get the content that they're going to write on their blog? And there are a couple of places where you can get that content from. So the first thing is to rewrite information and training that you have. So when you learn things, when you get training products, for example, the training in Profit Canvas, you can rewrite that as a blog post, and that's good, solid training because it's written by me, it's written by Mike, so it's training that is going to help people, and you can put that training in your own words and add that as onto your blog to give value to people that come to your blog. The second thing that you can do is document your own experience. This is something that I know Mike does in his About Me section. He documents his own experience and his own travels through the I Am business. So it shows how he's started from the beginning with next to nothing and built himself up, and he keeps track of all that. And that's a nice story that people like. It's something that people like to read, and it's going to give value and also hope to the people that come to your blog. The third thing is to review products that you have bought. I know a lot of people say this to me. They'll say, you know, where am I going to get product reviews and how am I going to get access to product reviews? Well, everybody here I know has at least bought one I Am product, so you probably bought other ones. So review the products that you've actually purchased. And actually, one thing that you can do is you can review these products as you're purchasing it. So you can show the review in a way that Mike and I can't even. You can show it as the perspective of a buyer.
And one of the things that when you're doing that, and I've seen big guys doing this as well. I've seen people that would easily be able to go out there and ask for free access to the product and just say, hey, can I see it? And everyone would be like, yes, please, because they can send a lot of sales. But what they'll do is they will deliberately go and they'll purchase something so they can get that receipt. Now, when you've gone out there and you've bought something and you have a receipt for it, and you put that on in a review, if you post it on Facebook, if you go out there and say, "Look, I've personally bought this product," it just changes kind of the way that people look at your review. It's like, oh well, he's actually spent money on this as well. If or she has, if they've bought it, then that actually means something for us. And Brett talks about going in there and recording the buying process. Well, sometimes, like in my reviews, I know Brett doesn't do too much with the OTOs. Brett reviews products based upon the front end, which is completely fine. I usually go through and I'll actually show what the OTOs are, just as kind of like if someone was going to go through the funnel there. So if you could do that as you're buying, show kind of what the funnel looks like, what you're being offered there, and we're going to talk about this in a minute. The important part there is that you're providing value.
You know what I think is a nice side effect as well about buying things, reviewing things that you've bought is that you have like a feeling. Like when you spend your own money on something, you have a feeling after you've used that product. So you can give in a lot of ways a uniquely honest review as well. Because if you buy this yourself and you get it and you test it and you can be like, man, I wasted my money, then you know it's probably not something you should be telling people to buy. But if you buy it yourself and you're like, wow, this was a good investment for myself. I'm glad I did this actually. Now you know you have a good product that you can promote to people. Whereas if you just get a free copy of it, you don't have any money investment either.
Exactly,
I
exactly. You
think
don't you don't have any you don't have anything in the game there. Like you need to. It's almost like sometimes I've actually done that, Brad. I don't know if you've ever done it before. I've done it. I've gone out there and I've bought a product. The reason why is because I couldn't get a hold of the product creator and I wanted to do a review of it and promote it. But I said screw it. I'm interested in looking at this. I'll buy it myself, and it helped with my conversions.
Yeah, I've done that. I've bought products where I wanted them for myself, especially when I first got started and people didn't really know me that well to give me review access. I would just buy the products. And,
Yeah.
sometimes I would say, oh, this is a bad product, don't buy it. Sometimes I would say, man, I'm glad I invested this, $29. The
But,
logo creator was one of the
sorry,
first products I reviewed.
sorry to
I'm sorry?
interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. Stefan just says, in this case, I have over 60 products to review. Stefan says, because he's bought so many products. I think a lot of people are in that case. Like if you're buying products, and Brett, I'll let you continue that. If you're buying products, like this is a great way of making some money back from what you purchased. Brett, continue on. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, that's actually the way I was saying. One of the first products that I ever reviewed was a product called the Logo Creator. I bought that because I didn't have a graphics designer at the time, and I didn't know how to, hire a graphics designer. So I
Hmm.
bought this Logo Creator product. I thought it was cool, so I reviewed it, and I ended up making at least 10 times what I paid for the product when I bought it over the course of about a year now. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay, so the second thing you can do is interviews with product creators. A lot of people have a hard time getting review copies in the beginning because the product vendors don't know them, and to be quite frank, they're afraid that they're just giving their product away to somebody that's never actually going to do a review, or that just wants a free copy, or that's going to put it all over the black hat sites if they don't know you. Because not to say that you would do that, but they don't know who you are. So one thing you can do though is ask the vendors for an interview and say, hey, would you, answer my questions? Would you show us the product? And that's in essence a review. It's just that the uh, the product vendor is basically driving it and showing it and just answering your questions as you go on. The final thing is eventually, after you build yourself up a little bit, you can get to the point where you can just say to vendors, can I get review copies, and they'll give them to you once you build up a little bit of a reputation and a little bit of a repertoire with them.
Let me just interject there. Like, if you look at Brett and if you look at our business models, we do different things, and we are both equally successful in what we do. Brett's a developer; he can go out there and whip up a piece of software. Like with that stuff, I'm illiterate. I can't go out there and do anything with a software and create my own products like that. The way that I got into this, the way that I was able to have success, is I did a lot of interviews. I met a lot of people. I built relationships, which is very important in any business model. Building relationships with like-minded people is such an important part of business. I was just talking with someone today. I'm not going to name names, but I asked him. I said, why are you continuing to promote my product today when you could be promoting this other big launch that's going on right now? And he said to me, it's because when I message that person, they don't give me the time of day. They don't like give me enough respect. They don't answer my questions. And he said, and I like you and your partner. And the fact that this person likes me, they might make more money by promoting the other offer. That might be something where they could send out an email and make a ton more money there. But there's also the fact that, okay, I actually like this person. I want them to have success. That goes into all this as well. So if you want to build relationships, interviews are a great way of doing it. I do interviews and reviews, and Brett does a great job of going in and doing very in-depth reviews of the products that he has going in. As a software developer, he has a unique perspective where he can go and find, he understands kind of the code behind everything, and his audience loves him for that. So there's so many different ways of doing all of this. I'm sure there are people watching this right now on this that are they visit both of our sites. They're like, okay, Mike's the interview guy, Brett's the technical review guy. I can go to both of their sites for different information, make a good decision, and then purchase. And you can also do the same type of stuff.
The only thing, if I can add something there, Mike, to what you said, the one thing I do want to point out is you were mentioning about this gentleman that is going to promote your stuff because he likes you, right?
Hmm.
And that's something I want to clarify on. A lot of times people think that there's like some kind of like hidden I am marketers group where like we have this like little like circle that we all sit around and we're going to like only work with each other and like we're sharks trying to eat the fish. And that's not necessarily true. But the thing you need to keep in mind is, like, let's just say there's 70 launches in a month, and there is a lot. There's a lot of product launches a month. So let's say there's 70 launches in a month, and half of them are really good products. So 35 of them are really good products. Well, I can't promote all of the good products, and people can't promote all of the good products. So it just makes sense that they're going to pick the good products of the people that they like, right? And that's why the relationships are so important because, I mean, if I have 10 good, if I decide today I'm going to do a promo and I have 10 good products to choose from, I'm probably going to pick the one from the guy that I have a good relationship with, or that answers me, or that answers my question, or that gives me feedback on his product so that way I can do a proper review. The guy that ignores me and doesn't answer me, I'm probably going to say, well, you mustn't care too much. I'm not going to send my customers to you.
It's funny. It's funny that you say that, Brett. My brother, he was saying to me, yeah, he's like, yeah, it's just a syndicate. It's people just kind of like you promote this person, they promote you. It's like just a circle of like promotion, promotion, back to back. And it's really not. Like I just because I promote someone, just because I do I promote someone's product doesn't mean that if I go to them with a product that they're 100% going to promote it. Like whenever even with Brett, when I asked him to promote Soci Spot, I approached him. I was like, "Here's Brett, here's Soci Spot," and he came back to me just like he did with everyone else out there, all the other products out there. He came back to me. He's like, Mike, there's this bug. Mike, this isn't working. And we joke with each other about it. Like he's like, because I always tear apart his software. And he always now he's doing it to me. But it's like, okay, he's not just going to promote me because we're friends. It needs to be a good piece of software, a good product as well, and vice versa. Like if you're doing this the right way, the good people out there are going to actually care about what the products are. But there's the relationship. Like um, if there's two products out there, and one of them is Brett's, and another one is another person that I don't have a good relationship, and they're both equally good products. Obviously, I'm going to choose Brett's. Like that just makes sense. That's just the way that relationships work. So don't discount relationships, but also don't think that there's some hidden conspiracy behind all this because when at the end of the day, it's a business, and that's what we're doing.
Alrighty, so going on to number two, that actually leads to something we started talking about. It's providing value, providing 80% value, 20% sales pitch. Now, a lot of people, they tend to think that providing value means giving people a whole bunch of stuff for free. I see that sometimes. People will build a list and they'll be like, oh, here's a free this, and here's a free that, and here's a free that. And then they wonder why the list isn't responding to them very well. Providing value does not necessarily mean giving people something for free. It just means providing value. For example, like Mike does his interviews, that is value. You get to hear from the product vendor. You get to hear Mike ask them questions. You get to see a demo of the product. You get to hear what Mike thinks about the product. That is real value to people because now they are seeing an unbiased view of the product that they normally wouldn't be able to see beforehand. Same thing with like the product reviews that I do. People get to see me go in there and demo the product step by step. And in the demo, I'm pointing out the good things and saying, hey, I like this, or hey, you know what, this kind of sucks, or hey, maybe they can improve this. And I'm being very honest about that. So I'm giving value. Even as I'm promoting something, I'm still giving value. The value that we're giving is we're helping people to make a more informed purchase decision. So that way they're not just buying blind and not just buying on hype on the sales page. And that's why people visit our blogs is because we give them that value to help them. The thing you need to keep in mind always is that your main goal should be to help your customers. If you help your customers, you will make money. If you don't help your customers and only think to myself and how can I help me and how can I get them to buy from me, you're not really going to make money in the long term because eventually they're going to get sick of you. They're going to get sick of not getting any extra value from you. And they're going to move on to somebody like me or Mike that does give that extra
I
value.
was just talking in my coaching group today, Brett, and I was talking with one of my students, and he was talking about how asking about how to price a product and blah blah, and I was like, look, let what just start focusing on like I was like what results is a person going to get once they buy your product, like once you can start focusing more on and caring more about the results that your potential customers are going to get and less on the amount of money that you're going to make from it, that's when the magic happens. That's when you start making real money. And sure, we are in this to make money. We're not doing this for fun. I mean, I actually have fun doing it, but we're like, we're doing this to provide a living for our families. But if we don't do it the right way, then we're not going to make money. If you can help, the more people that you can help, the more money that you can make.
Yeah, I mean I like to say I want to make money online, but I want to do it by helping other people make some of their own.
Hmm.
And that's the thing to think about. I mean, don't always think about you. Don't think of what can I do for me. Think about what can I do for other people, because if you can do for other people, they will come to you and you will make money too. So always try to provide value when you're writing posts on your blog, when you're sending people to your blog, when you're writing reviews or interviews of products. Remember that the main focus that you should be providing is giving something to the people that read that article. Okay, I wanted to touch in a little more detail on how to get interviews and how to get review copies. I mean, it's easy enough to say, okay, we'll get a review copy, or it's easy enough to say, talk to the product vendor and get an interview with them. But a lot of people say, well, how do I do that? How do I convince these people to give me review copies? How do I convince these people to take the time out and let me interview them, especially if I'm new? I mean, because if I'm not going to be able to send them a lot of sales, why would they take the time out to allow me to interview me? Why they give me their time? So the first thing that you want to do is make sure you maintain your site and update it regularly. Make sure you keep your site going. Make sure it's not just something that you do once in a while. Make sure that you regularly update it, because that shows the product vendors that you're serious in this business. You have to understand that probably about 90% of the people that say they're going to get into the IM business never really take it seriously. So if you show that, hey, look, I have this website, I'm maintaining it, I'm writing articles, I'm doing regular interviews, right from the door, you've already set yourself above 90% of the people, and the vendors are going to take you seriously now.
Most
Uh,
blogs, most sites, most review sites, most anything, like people start a site, they create their first post, maybe another post on it, and then it goes silent. They don't get a million hits on, they don't get a million like people coming to their website. They think like, oh, once I open up my blog, everyone's gonna come. Like I need to make sure everything's perfect because once it's open, then everyone's gonna see it. Well, no, it's not like that. It's gonna take time for people to come and actually see your website. And one thing that I recommend doing is I have my dates showing on my website. You can actually choose in some themes to have your dates showing or not showing. I have them showing because I want people to see that I'm publishing content all the time. You should stick to a regular publishing schedule. You don't have to do it every day. That's not something that we expect from everyone. But if you're going to try maybe to try to put out a piece of content every Monday and every Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, make a goal and stick with it. Know that you have to actually put out a piece of content, and even if you do a review and you don't make any money from it, just know, okay, this is the first ones. Like the first ones I did, Brett, I was making like I had a little bit of an email list. I'll be honest. I had about 2,000 people on an email list, but it wasn't a buyer's email list. It wasn't a people that had bought like software, which is more valuable. It's just a regular email list of people that were seeking free stuff. But I think I made like $60 from my first promotion that I did, and now when I do something, if I make $60 from it, that's like a big failure. That's for me, that's a small number, but everyone starts somewhere, and that consistency will go a long ways.
yeah, I think my first list was a couple of hundred people. They were buyers, but I got them from the Warrior Forum, from selling my own products in the Warrior Forum. I remember I did my first affiliate promo, and I got like, I don't know, maybe $100. It was real small. I remember it was for Neil Napier though, and I got maybe $100 out of it. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but I can't live off of this. Maybe this isn't too serious. But I stuck with it, and it built up. And like I said, now I make more online than I do from my brick and mortar businesses. Um,
It
but
makes
yeah,
me wonder, Brett. Like you have your other businesses, and it's pretty amazing how you're able to run this business. Like your expenses are so just minimal compared to what you make with it. That's just a quick point that I want to make to everyone, that if you think that building a business is hard, try to do it in the real world, not in the online world, and you'll see how hard it can actually be. I don't own an office. I don't pay any rent. My biggest expense right now is the software that we're using to do this webinar. GoToWebinar is my biggest expense, and I didn't buy this until way later on. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I recently sold my ice cream parlors. I had a couple of ice cream parlors as well. This last summer, I sold my ice cream parlors. But to put it into perspective from everybody about how the IM business is more desirable as far as getting started, when I opened my ice cream parlors, just a soft serve ice cream machine that makes soft serve ice cream, cost me $16,000, and I bought two of them. It's 30 grand just on ice cream machines. So, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, you could start a blog with 12 bucks. So.
It just makes it's incredible that you can create a real business with such little money. I didn't become a business entity. I didn't create, like, buy business licenses. People think they have to go out there and, like, be set up as a business and go to the Better Business Bureau and get a license. You don't need any of that. As a sole proprietor, you can go ahead and start making money online. You don't need to have all that formal stuff set up there. I only ended up doing that later on, but it's amazing how the barriers that you think are in your mind to get started, you're creating them. They're not really there.
The thing to keep in mind is those barriers can also be a negative thing because it's a lot easier to not take it seriously because you didn't invest a bunch of money. I mean, like when I opened up my first ice cream parlor, the entire thing cost me about $75,000 to get running. You better believe I was working my tail off on it because I had a ton of money involved in it. However, the one thing that a lot of people tend to get into in the IM business is, oh, I only spent $12 on a blog. It's no big deal. I'll get to it later. You have to take it just as seriously, though, as if you spent a bunch of money to get started.
And let me just point out, and we'll continue on here. I think it's a really good business lesson for all of you. Brett had these ice cream parlors, and I know that we were chatting about this a while back. His children would go to the ice cream parlors, and they didn't just go in there and stick their faces underneath the ice cream machines and just turn them on and eat all the ice cream that they wanted. Brett would actually send them there, and he would give them money to go and purchase the ice cream from there, just like a normal customer. Like, you have to run your business seriously. You have to run it like, it's not a playground for you. If you can take it seriously, when you start taking your internet marketing business seriously, that's when you're going to start making serious money from it. If you treat it like a hobby, you're going to make hobby money from it. That's just the way it works.
Okay, so the second thing is join Facebook marketing groups and take part of the discussions. Now, this is a way for you to and I talk about it in the training, to kind of passively integrate yourself into other marketing groups or into with other marketers and to meet other marketers. Don't just like hit them up on Facebook and be like, hey, I'm, Joe, and I want to do business with you. That's silly. It's like walking up to a complete stranger on the street saying, hi, would you do business with me? You don't do that. What you do is you get to know them a little bit better. And Facebook is a great place to get to know people because you can comment on their posts, you can like their posts, you can get your name in front of them in a less aggressive way. So I always suggest that people, join marketing groups, take part in the marketing, conversations. You can also do it on the Warrior Forum as well. And it's going to take time, but slowly people will get to learn your name. People will get to know who you are and be aware of you. And then they're going to be a lot more receptive when you want to do some business with them.
Greg, I'm going to ask you a question here, and this is, I think, it's a good topic. Michael's asking, if a product really is a piece of crap, can you really say that? And I think this is an interesting question, because Brett and I have differing opinions, I think, on this one.
Yeah. Michael has never been to my blog, I don't think.
what what Brett does, and this is how we kind of differ in the way we do things, and I I respect the way that Brett does stuff, and we actually go back and forth on this with each other. But there's positives and there's negatives to both ways of doing it. So when you do your reviews of different products, you can keep both in mind. When you are, if you review a product and you give it a negative review, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get your customers to frigging love you. Your customers will think you are the best person in the world, and they will be very loyal to you. And the next time that you promote something, they will be like, "Wow, okay, he didn't like this one, but he likes this one, so I'm going to listen to them." So that's it's a good way of getting your customers to know that you are really only promoting good stuff. The negatives there are that you can burn bridges with potential affiliates for your products in the future, potential partners, and some people, depending upon their maturity level, will respond differently to a negative review. I know that when Brett does a review, he's not reviewing the person, he's reviewing the product, but unfortunately some people don't react that way to it, and they consider it a personal attack to them, which is understood. I mean, I get it. Some people and they put a lot of time into their products, and they can maybe think that they're stressed out, they're doing a launch, and someone's coming along saying that their product sucks. I understand that. Personally, what I do is instead of I'm more about the relationship aspect of this. I don't want to burn bridges. I avoid conflict. So if someone approaches me with a product that I think is crap, I simply don't do an interview with them. I don't review the product. I've had people actually that I've interviewed before, and then I spoke with Brett, and Brett started looking at the product, and I was like, "Oh crap, it's a crappy product." So I had to actually not publish the interview because the product was crappy. So it's a there's different ways of doing it. You can be completely honest, and there's going to be positives and negatives. You can go ahead and you can just simply avoid the ones that are crappy and not burn the bridges there, but either way, what you do, you don't want to promote crappy products. Like whatever you do, whether you want to say it's bad or not, you want to stick with your guns, stick with your ethics, and not go out there and just promote something just so you can make some money.
I think it kind of depends on your personality, how you handle the bad products as well. I mean, if you're a more outspoken, aggressive person, I was actually just thinking of an analogy in my head. Ask yourself, like, if your wife came down, or husband for the women, if your wife came down and said to you, do these jeans make me look fat, honey? Would you say no because you don't want to hurt her feelings, or would you say yes because you want to be honest?
It's been
Me, I would say yes. Mike would say no. I'm divorced. Mike's not. So.
True. That's no, that's a great example. I really think that's a great example, and uh, it's definitely a difference in how we do things. But I think either way, if you see a product is launched and you see that I haven't promoted it, I have people email me and they'll be like, Mike, are you going to review this product? I'll just say I'm like I'm not doing it. What do you think? And they're like they kind of get the silent understanding that I'm not if I'm not touching it, then that also means something. But yeah, I would, Brett. That's a very dangerous question with the wife one. I have to be very careful of that. My wife, it doesn't matter. My wife is Turkish, and it's the same all over the world. Like I think people are the same everywhere. Like you have to be careful of that question.
Yeah, and you got to understand if you're going to be blunt, honest like that, you're going to earn respect from the vendors, but or from the customers, but you're going to hurt your relationship with the vendors. I mean, it's no, there is a reason why Mike manages all my affiliates with my lunches. Yeah, see,
Yeah,
a
there's
lot
a
of them don't
reason why
like
we
me.
partnered together because I'm more of the relationship guy. I know a lot of people. I try not to burn bridges. It's definitely it's a different business models, but look, when it comes down to it, we both make approximately the same amount of money each month. We're both
Hmm.
in the 30 to 50K per month from product creation and affiliate marketing. Um, it's whatever we're doing, both of it works, and I just want people to know that there's no one way to do all this. There's so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, I mean, don't try to copy anybody else's business model exactly. Adjust it a little bit based on your personality and your way of doing things as well. The key thing to remember though is always give value, never promote a bad product.
Yeah, that's the main point there.
All right, so another thing you can do in order to be able to get interviews and review copies from people is sell your own products on JVZoo. I actually had a message from somebody, and they said to me if they were going to sell they had agency access to Profit Canvas, and they said they're going to sell agency access. If they want to sell it themselves, do they just send people directly to the sales page, or do they use their own affiliate link? And what you want to do is when you're selling your own products or promoting your own products, something you have reseller rights to or something that you've created, uh, you want to always use your own affiliate link. And the reason you want to do that is because that will build up your number of affiliate sales in JVZoo. That will build up your reputation. So then when you request review access from somebody, you request to be an affiliate of their product, they will see that you have sales as an affiliate. So that way it will improve your credibility that you're not just some guy trying to steal their product from them and put it on the black hat sites. You are an actual affiliate. Always be very detailed when contacting vendors. So if you're going to contact a vendor, you're going to ask for review access, you're going to ask for a website, be incredibly detailed. You have to remember, it's not JVZoo that pays you. It's not the customer that pays you your affiliate commission. It's actually the product vendor. What
Hmm.
happens is the customer pays the product vendor, and then the product vendor pays you. That comes out of their PayPal account automatically. So vendors are always leery of people that they don't know. I mean, like let's just say I give somebody I never knew, I gave them, review access, they're going to promote my product, and they send me 500 sales. And I find out that all 500 sales were from stolen credit cards. There's some scam guy that just scammed credit cards and bought 500 copies with stolen credit cards. Guess who gets stuck with all those chargebacks? I do,
Hmm.
because he just disappeared, and now they're all coming to me saying, "Where's that money?" And by the way, we're closing your PayPal account because you got all these chargebacks, and now you're out of business. So you need to be incredibly detailed when you ask an affiliate for review access. You need to say, "Here's my name, here's my website, here's how you can get in contact me if you have any questions," because that improves your credibility and gives a lot more confidence. I know who this person is now.
Because I'll when I'm personally going through, and when Brett and I are doing launches together, I actually go through all the different affiliates. And if someone doesn't have many sales, but they are trying to reach out to me, they're messaging me on Skype and Facebook, telling me that they're new but they're just getting started, I'm much more likely to approve that person than I would someone that hadn't actually that just was like, approve me for instant payments now. Like I'm gonna obviously I'm not gonna approve you. I'm gonna disapprove you whenever you say that. So yeah, the more transparent you can be there, the better.
And that comes to the second thing. You need to accept that when you get started, you're probably going to get hit with delayed payments, and that's
Yep.
not a bad thing at all. I'm on delayed payments with PayPal. I mean, they're holding about $80,000 of my money. That's not a bad thing. They just want to have a little bit of a cushion. They want to have a little bit of security, knowing that I'm not going to get a bunch of chargebacks. It's the same thing with people that you don't know if you're trying to affiliate market with them. They're not trying to steal your money. They're not trying to not pay you. I mean, vendors aren't stupid. They don't want to rip off people that send them sales. They
Mhm.
just want a little bit of a cushion. Say, hey, look, I'll put you on 60 days delayed payments just to make sure you're not going to give me a whole bunch of chargebacks. And then once I get to know you, I'll release your payments and we'll move you over to instance. So just accept that in the beginning, you'll probably be on delayed payments and that it's not a bad thing. It's not a personal thing. They're just trying to protect themselves from the person that they don't yet know. Okay, things that you should not do if you ever want to get interviews or review copies. Do not ever buy through your own affiliate link. A lot of people they do that. They'll ask for an affiliate access and then they'll buy through their own affiliate link or with another PayPal email address and think, oh, I got half price on the product. And the only reason they ever ask for the affiliate access or to be an affiliate is so that they can buy through their own link. If you do that, what's going to happen is the vendor is going to ban you and then the other vendors are going to see that you've been banned as well, and that's pretty much going to shoot you down for the future. You're pretty much going to be out of the game.
Yeah, you're gonna
Uh,
ruin your relationship with that person. Like I've had people that have and I've heard stories about this as well. Maybe it's happened to you too, Brett. People that have gone in, like bought through their own affiliate link, and then uh, ask, I don't know, ask for refunds or then ask for someone to promote their products. Just craziness. Remember, we can see all this. We can see that you bought through your own link. It's not cool, and you should be one of the best ways of building a relationship with someone. If you're trying to go out there and make a connection with some bigger person, buy their product and make sure that you don't buy it through your own affiliate link. Go out there, take action on it, and then can send them your results with it. Like, just I think that it's so important. I think this has been a big topic today. Relationships. Just remember, this is a community of people. That any business that you're in, people talk. There's gossip that goes on behind the scenes. You do something that's a little bit kind of sketchy. You might show up in some of the Skype chats and some of the Facebook groups. So just be careful what you do. Don't do anything that you wouldn't feel comfortable having all your friends knowing that you're doing.
Yeah, here's one that happened to me recently, Mike. I gave a guy a chance. He's like, "Hey, I really want to promote for you, but I don't have money to pay for the Facebook ads." He's like, "Can you put me on instant commission so that way I can keep my Facebook ads going?" And I thought to myself, "No, I shouldn't do this, but you know what? I'm going to give the guy a chance." So he did. I set him on instance, despite my best judgment. Set him on instance. There was one purchase. He bought through his own affiliate link and then filed a credit card chargeback. So basically, he just got my software for free and stole the money I paid him.
And that guy is now like he's banned from ever buying a product from you ever again. So he can never buy a product from you. If you put out something in the future that he really wants, he can't buy it. He's not going to have it anymore. And other people are also, if you do stuff like that, you're going to get banned from buying from other people as well. And there's a network of like that you can actually put in your JVZoo account and say, if this person's been banned by like one or more people, two or more people, then also ban them for me, to prevent stuff like that. But that's just really sad.
When you're trying to build up a relationship with people, I had said about using Facebook and like trying to interact with people on Facebook, don't spam them. You see that this happens to me a lot. I'm sure it happens to Mike a lot. People will send you a friend request. You never even heard of them before. They'll send you a friend request. You'll approve it, and then right away you get a message from them saying, "Let's do business together." Basically, that's basically what it says.
Tell me
And
about
like you're
tell me about your business. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're like, who are you, dude?
Yeah.
I don't even know you.
Ugh.
That's not a good way to meet people. That's not a good way to build a relationship with people. Again, that's like walking up. Imagine me walking up to Donald Trump and saying, "Hi, I'm Brett, and I'm interested in real estate. Can we do business together?"
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to be like, "Dude, who are you?" You know. So yes, don't spam people. Don't just hit them up. That's all that's going to do is turn them off. Yeah, I mean, I get probably 200 or 300 messages on Facebook like that a week, and I don't even answer them anymore. It's not bad. I don't want to be rude. It's just I don't want to be rude to the people and just ignore them. It's just I don't have time to do that. Um, okay, uh, when you send Okay, make sure you send your affiliate request before you ask for review access. So if you're going to message somebody, you're going to say, "Can I get review access?" Make sure you send your affiliate request first so they get some information about you, so they can see if you have any sales, so that they can try to learn who you are ahead of time before they decide if they want to give you review access or not. And again, if they say, "No, I don't feel comfortable giving you review access," don't get offended. Say, "No, no problem. Can we do an interview instead?" There's always the interview as a backup if you can't get review access.
One thing you can also do is you can ask to do a testimonial.
Yeah, that's something you can do as well.
Mhm.
All right, so getting traffic initially. Now, all this isn't going to do you any good if you can't initially get traffic to your website. So you got your blog, you got to get traffic initially to it. The first thing I want you to understand is that getting traffic is an ongoing thing. At some point, you're going to get to the stage where your main focus is just getting more traffic. You've got your system down, you've got your relationships built. Now, in order to grow, you need to get more traffic. Getting traffic is not something that's ever going to go away. It's going to be a main core of your business. There's a couple of ways to get traffic. The first one is Google SEO. And I have there's a training inside of the Vault that explains SEO. I have done pretty well with SEO. My SEO rankings have consistently gone up, and I don't do anything special. There's no special trick. We talked about this in the first training. There's no special trick at all. I just write good, solid content that people enjoy, and Google rewards me with that with high search engine rankings. I don't want to get into it in a lot of detail in this week because we're going to talk about it more next week. But another thing you can use is Facebook. You can use Facebook ads to send low-cost clicks over to your website. You can use back-end bonuses. I think we talked about that last week as well, right, Mike?
Yeah, I mean that's just an amazing way of doing things that Brett and I do all the time. Getting proven buyers on your email list.
And the final thing, the main traffic source, and I'm sure Mike can tell the same thing. He'll agree with me. The main traffic source is your own email list. That is going to be the main way you're going to get traffic to your website because when you have an email list, you can always make the people on that email list aware of your new article, your new review, your new freebie, whatever you have. You can get them to go over to your site almost at will. So then what ends up happening is you need to focus constantly on building your email list as well by default. So everything you do should be trying to build your email list. So if you run a Facebook ad, you want to send people to a giveaway on your page where they can get something for free so that they're on your email list. Because once they're on your email list, you can now send them to your site over and over again. All right, in-site list building. So everybody talks about the page builder. Have you noticed that, Mike? In Profit Canvas, everybody talks about the page builder.
No, that's because it's amazing, Brett.
I appreciate that. And it's interesting. It's the one aspect of Profit Canvas that I spent the most coding time on, but it's honestly it's my least favorite tool in Profit Canvas. My favorite tool is the pop-up builder because I use the pop-up builder all the time on my own blog, and I add hundreds of new emails to my list with that pop-up builder. That is in-site list building. So if I do a review, and I'm very detailed in my review, there'll be a little pop-up say, hey, did you like my review? Would you like some more? Here's a way you can get more. Here's a sign-up form. Or I'll write a free training and I'll say, hey, did you enjoy this training? You can get more free training. Here's a sign-up form. Always do in-site list building. When you're sending people to your site, you're giving them away value, you're teaching them something, you're giving them a review, always give them a chance to opt in so they can get more of the same. And a pop-up is one of the great ways to do that. It's every website probably in the world has pop-ups over it, every big name website. Another thing you can do is you can create standalone squeeze pages for super special. So like, let's just say normally I give away the ClickBar WordPress plugin, the free version on my blog, and I have hundreds of people who have downloaded, hundreds of people that have opted in. Every once in a while, I'll build a super special page outside of my blog, and I'll use the Profit Canvas page builder to do that. Well, now I do. Before I used to do it by hand, but I'll use the Profit Canvas page builder to do that. That'll be outside my blog, and I'll send Facebook traffic to there and say, look, this is the super special for one day only. If you opt in, you can get the premium version of ClickBar, not the free version. And people love that. It converts really well because it's an extra special. And not only is it an extra special, but it has extra scarcity because it's one day only. So running like a $5 or $10 Facebook ad, I'll generally get 50, 60, 70 emails into my list easily doing that.
And each email is worth money. I think that's one of the biggest thought transitions, and we'll touch on that next week when we go more into email marketing. But it's definitely that's one thing. If you can stop thinking about the quick buck and think about the long term business dollar, that's gonna change the way that you do things.
Alrighty. Okay, the last thing I want to cover is why the I am niche. And you might second to last thing. There's one more thing I want to cover right before we close. But why the I am niche? You might notice that we're always talking about the I am niche. Mike is in the I am niche. I am in the I am niche. So why the I am niche? Why not the golfing niche? Why not Amazon? Why not any other niche that we could possibly be in? The reason being is the analogy that I like to use is the 49ers. 1849, thousands of people went west, millions of people actually went west, and they wanted to mine for gold. Well, it was something like 1 out of every 1,000 miners actually made a decent living mining gold. Who made the real money of those people? The real people that made money was the guys that were selling pickaxes, the guys that were selling boots, the guys that were selling shovels, the guys that didn't have to actually go mine for gold, that gave the tools that the miners needed. Those were the ones that made the real money. And best of all, they didn't have to go in a mine either. Online is the same way. You can make money with Amazon. You can make money with eBay. You can make money with all kinds of affiliate networks, ClickBank, all kinds of CPA offers. But the people that are really making the money are the guys that are providing the tools for those people. That's the niche that I am in. That's the niche that Mike's in. If you're going to be doing something, you might as well do the most profitable thing. And the IM niche is the most profitable thing. So I see people all the time. They'll say, "I want to get into the CPA, the CPA market." I say, "Okay, well that's fine, but you're getting $2 per click on a CPA offer. I'm getting $8 per click on an affiliate offer selling CPA tools, which makes the most sense."
It's just the best way of doing it. Like I personally have made money online doing it in the trenches, and that's fine. But it's it's definitely if you want to have the fastest return on your investment and the fastest results, then do exactly what we're teaching you.
And I'm not telling anybody that they shouldn't buy tools. I buy tools as well. Every business needs tools, but you should be in the most profitable niche, and the IM niche is the most profitable niche. Okay, the very last thing I'm going to finish up, I think we're getting close to the hour here, is I'm going to give everybody the secret. Everybody wants the secret. Everybody wants the big money making secret. What is the trick that all these guys that are making money online know that I don't know? And I'm going to give you that trick right now. I'm going to give you the secret. The secret is we stick with it. We work our tails off and we don't quit. That's the trick. That really is all there is to it. The people who do forward thinking, who think to themselves, I'm going to put in the work now and make a lot of money later. The people that can say, you know what, I'm not going to go to the movies tonight. I'm not going to watch The Walking Dead on TV. I'm going to work on my business. Those are the guys that do well. The secret is determination. That's really all there is to it.
I just I just bought myself and a new iPhone, Brett. And here in Turkey, where I am, I'm Mike from Maine, but I actually live in Turkey. iPhones are about $500 more expensive than they are in the States, and I make anywhere. I think last month I made about $50,000 to $60,000 in profits. Even with that, even with that amount of money that I make, spending the money on this phone was really, really difficult for me. Like I didn't want to spend it. I had an older phone. I was like, it still works, but my wife was sick of my phone running out of power, and no one could contact me because my phone kept on running out of battery. And I was just like, screw it. And like my personal life, I'm getting too much crap from everyone around me that I'm never. No one can ever reach me on my phone. That I finally did it, but. It's just like what you said. Like I I take my money, I take the earnings that I make online, I invest them back into my business. I've spent thousands of dollars on actually I spent Brett. I don't think you went through this, but I did. I spent anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 on products and software before I ever was successful. I'm not sure if you know that about me, but I invested money back into my business. I've gone out there and I just the other week I just bought a $1,000 training on how to do better webinars. Like even though I've made over $60,000 on webinars, and I've done a ton of webinars now. I'm still trying to make myself better. I'm still trying to learn new things. I think that's really important as well. That you're never becoming complacent. You're always trying to move forward. Look what Brett just did today. Brett, he ran this webinar today. He was doing the main bulk of the presentation. He had never done that before, and Brett, you liked it. I think you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I don't think I did the greatest job in the world. I think I need to sharpen up my webinar presentation skills. But the point is, like I had said to you when we were first talking, I said if I never do it, I'll never do it.
Stefan
So I got
says,
to.
Stefan says, you did great, Brett. Beverly says, fantastic, Brett. Awesome. Congrats. You did fantastic. Bloody well done, Brett from Peter. James says, I think you did better than you think, Brett. Roy says, Brett, you did a great job. Kim says, Brett did a good job. Bravo from Julie. Wolfgang says, practice makes perfect. Vera says, thank you, Brett. Lorraine says, Brett, cool, you're the man. The- the- People love it, man. It's like I can't even read them all. Michael says, "Yeah, good job, Brett. A natural." I think you are too. I think you're good.
You
Lisa,
know, Mike,
Brett is. Wait,
you were.
I'm gonna read some of these. Wait a second, Brett. You're gonna listen to this. Lee says Brett is great at training and webinars. Mohammed says great webinar, Brett. Glenn says awesome, mate. Keep it up. Linda says great job. Gabriel says excellent, good content. George says slick isn't as important as real. So you're definitely not slick, Brett. You're real. Deirdre says you did an amazing, Brett. Love the deep voice. I think you've got a fan here. Carol says, "Great job, keep it up." Michael says, "Very good job to both of you." Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I get some recognition here as well. Michael, yeah, very good job to both of you. You're natural. Brett says, Paul. Uh, John says, just as good as your no BS reviews. Glenn says, I didn't know that until you told me that this wasn't like your first one. Sam says, Brett, what can I say? You are better presenting. Wait, I'm gonna repeat this. Sam says, Brett, what can I say? You are better at presenting than Mike is at writing code. Hee hee. Rasmus says, "Thank you, thanks a lot, guys. You're both doing great. I hope I reach your presentation level one of these days." Hans says, "Brett, you're doing great." There's just too many of you here, guys. So many of here. Vera's laughing. Julie says, "Brett, you came across sincere." Uh, Brett has a studio voice that comes over great, and his commitment and down to earth personality comes through. Sorry, guys, if I can't read them all, they're just coming into ears so well. So
You're kind of making me blush over
yeah,
here, Mike.
a good thing we're not on camera here. We'd have a bright red Brett on here. But I think look, if you take anything from what we've talked about today, forget everything we just taught you. Like I don't care. Like if you don't remember any of that, look what just happened here today. Brett took something that he was a little nervous about doing before, and he just was like, screw it, let's do it. Like and he did it, and look at the feedback that you guys are giving him, because he was doing like what we talked about, providing value, trying to help you. It wasn't some slick presentation with crazy slides and graphics and whatever. Who really cares about that? That doesn't matter. The important part is that he actually has the content that comes through. That's the most important part. We ready to wrap it up, Brett?
Yeah, yeah. Do we have any questions, Mike? Or I can't see.
No,
I'm trying to look. I can't figure out how to see
I
the
think
question.
we're all good to go. But if you all have any questions for us, feel free to put them into support, and we'll help you in there. But thank you so much, Brett. They're asking about your last slide. Can you talk about your last slide?
Oh, down here. No, that's actually just a summary. That last slide is the first slide, and that'll show you how new I was. I didn't know how to put a slide in the beginning, so it ended up my summary ended up being my last slide.
Okay, well let's wrap it up, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today. We're gonna try to get that replay out to you shortly, and next week, if you show up, we're gonna have a page where you're gonna be able to find all of the first couple weeks of our presentation here for you that you can get there. But Brett, thanks again, buddy. Good job, and I will see you all next week.
All right, have a good one, guys. See you next week.